The Iron Giant Awakens. The Unstoppable Power of the United States Army, 2026. There are armies that defend borders. There are armies that project power. And then there is one force built to do both, across continents, across oceans, and across every battlefield on Earth. When the United States Army moves, the world pays attention. Its arrival is never quiet. It begins with the distant rumble of engines, the thunder of helicopters slicing through the sky, and columns of armored vehicles stretching far beyond the horizon. Thousands of soldiers move with a precision that has taken years to master. Every step, every command, every decision, perfectly synchronized. This is not simply a military force. It is a machine built from steel, discipline, technology, and generations of experience. A machine capable of deploying anywhere on the planet in a matter of hours. A force that never truly sleeps. Welcome inside the unstoppable power of the United States Army. For more than 2 centuries, the Army has stood at the center of America's defense. From the Revolutionary War to modern conflicts, every generation has transformed the Army into something stronger than the last. Today's battlefield is unlike anything seen before. Wars are no longer fought only with rifles and tanks. They are fought with satellites, artificial intelligence, electronic warfare, cyber operations, precision-guided weapons, long-range missiles, autonomous drones. The modern battlefield moves faster than ever, and the United States Army has spent decades preparing for exactly that future. Every year, thousands of recruits arrive at training installations across America. They come from different cities, different cultures, different backgrounds, but they all begin the same journey. One mission, one uniform, one purpose. Basic combat training is where civilians become soldiers. Before sunrise, the day begins. Long-distance runs, obstacle courses, weapons training, navigation, combat life-saving. Teamwork under pressure. Every exercise pushes recruits beyond what they believed was possible, because in combat, hesitation costs lives. Confidence is earned through repetition. The Army understands a simple truth. Equipment alone never wins wars. People do. That is why every soldier is trained not only to fight, but to think. Leadership is developed from the very first day. Every challenge is designed to create calm decision-makers under extreme pressure. Because the next battlefield may demand action in seconds, not minutes. Once training is complete, soldiers enter one of the most technologically advanced fighting forces ever assembled. Behind every combat formation stands an enormous network of logistics, engineering, intelligence, aviation, communications, and support units. Without them, no army can survive. The United States Army has transformed logistics into one of its greatest weapons. Fuel, food, medical supplies, ammunition, replacement parts. Entire armored brigades can be supplied across thousands of miles with astonishing efficiency. While combat troops move forward, thousands of specialists work around the clock behind the scenes. Convoys travel day and night. Heavy transport aircraft land across the globe. Massive cargo ships deliver armored vehicles across oceans. Every operation depends upon this invisible network, because without supply, even the strongest army eventually stops. The United States Army is built to ensure that never happens. Then comes the armor. Nothing symbolizes American ground power more than the sight of an M1 Abrams battle tank, more than 70 tons of steel, a powerful gas turbine engine, advanced composite armor, a devastating 120mm main gun. When dozens of Abrams tanks advance together, they become an overwhelming display of force. The ground shakes beneath their tracks. Dust rises into the sky. The roar of their engines echoes for miles. But modern armored warfare is never fought alone. Moving alongside the Abrams are Bradley fighting vehicles. Designed to transport infantry directly into combat, the Bradley allows soldiers to fight while remaining protected. Its rapid-fire cannon and anti-armor missiles provide lethal support as infantry dismount to secure objectives. Together, tanks and infantry create one of the most effective combinations ever developed. Each covers the other's weaknesses. Each strengthens the other's capabilities. Above them, another layer of power dominates the battlefield. The unmistakable silhouette of the AH-64 Apache attack helicopter appears over the horizon. Flying low and fast, Apaches use terrain to remain hidden until the moment they strike. Armed with Hellfire missiles, rockets, and a devastating 30mm chain gun, they are designed to destroy armored vehicles, protect friendly forces, and eliminate high-value targets. Modern sensors allow Apache crews to detect threats long before being seen themselves, even at night, even through poor weather. The battlefield belongs to those who can see first and strike first. But helicopters are only one part of Army aviation. Towering above them flies the legendary CH-47 Chinook, twin rotors spinning with incredible force. Its enormous cargo bay carries troops, artillery, vehicles, and critical supplies wherever they are needed. Entire units can be inserted deep behind enemy lines within minutes. Heavy equipment once requiring days to move can now be transported through the air with remarkable speed. Mobility has become one of the Army's greatest advantages. Wherever American soldiers are needed, aviation helps deliver them. Fast, accurately, and often unexpectedly. Yet none of these machines operate alone. Every movement is connected through an invisible web of communication. Satellites orbit thousands of miles above Earth. Ground stations monitor every signal. Intelligence. Sea analysts process enormous amounts of information in real time. Commanders receive battlefield updates almost instantly. Drones scan roads ahead. Reconnaissance aircraft monitor enemy positions. Artificial intelligence assists in identifying potential threats before soldiers even encounter them. Information has become as valuable as ammunition. The army that understands the battlefield first often controls the outcome before the first shot is fired. And this is only the beginning. Because beyond the tanks, beyond the helicopters, beyond the soldiers, lies an entirely new generation of weapons designed for a battlefield unlike anything the world has ever seen. The Iron Giant is no longer just awake. It is evolving. The battlefield has changed. Victory is no longer decided by the largest army alone. It belongs to the force that can see farther, strike faster, and adapt quicker than its enemy. That is exactly where the United States Army is transforming into something unprecedented. The moment an operation begins, the battlefield comes alive with information. High above the clouds, satellites monitor vast regions in real time. Reconnaissance aircraft scan hundreds of miles ahead. Unmanned aerial systems silently circle over potential targets, transmitting live video directly to command centers. Every movement, every vehicle, every heat signature, every radio transmission can become a piece of the battlefield puzzle. Before soldiers ever move forward, commanders already possess an extraordinary picture of the fight ahead. Information is no longer just support, it is a weapon. Once the target is identified, speed becomes everything. Within minutes, long-range artillery crews receive digital firing coordinates. Massive launchers swing into position. Hydraulic stabilizers lock into the ground. A countdown begins. Then, the silence disappears. The M1 HIMARS erupts in a storm of fire. Rocket after rocket streaks into the sky, climbing high before disappearing beyond the horizon. Unlike traditional artillery, these precision-guided rockets can strike targets dozens of miles away with remarkable accuracy. Enemy command posts, radar installations, supply depots, missile launch sites, bridges, critical infrastructure. They can all be engaged before friendly forces even arrive. In modern warfare, distance offers little protection. HIMARS has fundamentally changed how the Army projects firepower. Shoot, relocate, strike again, before the enemy even knows where the launch came from. But rockets alone cannot secure victory. As armored columns begin advancing, engineers move ahead of them. Their mission is among the most dangerous on the battlefield. Minefields, destroyed bridges, roadblocks, improvised explosive devices. Every obstacle must be removed before thousands of soldiers and vehicles can continue. Combat engineers work under constant pressure. Armored breaching vehicles blast open safe lanes through minefields. Bridge-laying systems unfold massive steel crossings in only minutes. Bulldozers reshape terrain. Explosive teams neutralize hidden threats. While others see impossible barriers, Army engineers see another mission to accomplish. Above the advancing force, helicopters once again dominate the sky. Apache attack helicopters fly low over forests and valleys, searching for hostile armor. Using advanced thermal sensors, crews detect vehicles hidden beneath trees or concealed by darkness. Targets appear on glowing displays inside the cockpit. Within seconds, Hellfire missiles launch. Their guidance systems lock onto armored targets with devastating precision. Moments later, explosions light up the landscape. The Apache was built for one purpose: to hunt. And on today's battlefield, it remains one of the most feared attack helicopters ever produced. Not far behind, UH-60 Black Hawk helicopters race toward the front. Inside sit fully equipped, paired infantry soldiers. Each understands the mission. Each knows the risk. The helicopters descend rapidly. Dust fills the air. The doors swing open. Within seconds, soldiers rush into defensive positions, while the helicopters immediately climb away. The landing zone is secured almost instantly. This is air assault. Fast, aggressive, decisive. It allows the Army to place combat power exactly where it is needed, often where the enemy least expects it. But while helicopters dominate low altitudes, another revolution is unfolding overhead. Small, unmanned drones have become indispensable on today's battlefield. Some fit inside a backpack. Others remain airborne for hours. They scout roads, observe enemy movements, identify ambushes, correct artillery fire, search damaged buildings, support rescue missions. Instead of sending soldiers blindly into danger, commanders can now see the battlefield first. Every drone extends the eyes of the Army, and every image it captures can save lives. Yet modern warfare is not fought only with bullets and missiles. Some of the most powerful attacks are completely invisible. Electronic warfare units enter the fight long before the first direct engagement. Specialized systems search the electromagnetic spectrum, enemy communications, drone control frequencies, radar emissions, navigation signals. Everything is analyzed. Then, the attack begins. Powerful electronic systems jam communications, disrupt drone operations, confuse navigation systems, blind enemy sensors. Entire networks can become unreliable within moments. Without communication, coordination collapses. Without coordination, even large military formations lose effectiveness. The battlefield of tomorrow may be won as much through electronic dominance as physical firepower. Protecting the force is equally important. As missiles and drones become increasingly common, air defense crews remain constantly alert. The Patriot air and missile defense system watches the skies around the clock. Powerful radar arrays scan hundreds of miles in every direction. Any incoming aircraft, cruise missile, or ballistic missile can be detected within seconds. Once identified, interceptor missiles launch at incredible speed. Their mission is simple: destroy the threat before it reaches friendly forces. In an age where long-range missile attacks can happen with little warning, air defense has become one of the Army's most critical responsibilities. Meanwhile, another elite force prepares for missions few people will ever witness. Deep inside secure facilities, special operations units conduct detailed planning. Every route is studied, every objective analyzed, every contingency rehearsed. These soldiers train for hostage rescues, counter-terrorism, strategic reconnaissance, direct action missions, and operations requiring extraordinary precision. Night vision equipment turns darkness into daylight. Suppressed weapons reduce detection. Advanced communications keep every operator connected. Success depends on preparation measured down to the smallest detail. For these teams, failure is never considered an option. Yet despite all this technology, all this firepower, all these extraordinary machines, the greatest strength of the United States Army remains unchanged. The soldier. Technology can assist. Vehicles can protect. Aircraft can transport. Missiles can strike. But only disciplined men and women can seize objectives, protect civilians, and accomplish missions under unimaginable pressure. Every successful operation still depends on courage, leadership, teamwork, trust. Those qualities cannot be manufactured. They are earned through relentless training and shared hardship. As the world enters an era of artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and increasingly sophisticated weapons, the Army continues to evolve faster than ever before. But its next transformation may become the most significant in its entire history. Because the battlefield of tomorrow won't simply be fought on land or in the air. It will extend into cyberspace, outer space, and digital networks connecting every weapon on the battlefield. The Iron Giant has mastered today's war. Now, it prepares for tomorrow's. Tomorrow's battlefield will not wait. It will move at the speed of data. It will stretch across continents. It will begin long before the first soldier ever sees the enemy. And in that future, the United States Army is preparing for a new era, one where information, precision, and adaptability will determine victory. Imagine a battlefield where every soldier, every vehicle, every helicopter, every drone, and every command post is connected through a single digital network. The moment a reconnaissance drone identifies a potential threat, that information is transmitted instantly. Tank commanders receive updated maps. Artillery batteries receive targeting coordinates. Attack helicopters are alerted to enemy movement. Infantry squads adjust their routes before danger even appears in front of them. What once took hours can now happen in seconds. This is the future of multi-domain operations. Land, air, cyber, space, and the electromagnetic spectrum. Each domain supports the others in one synchronized system designed to outpace any opponent. But staying ahead requires constant innovation. Across the United States, Army laboratories, testing ranges, and training centers are evaluating the next generation of military technology. Artificial intelligence is helping commanders process enormous amounts of battlefield information. Machine learning can rapidly identify patterns in surveillance data. Autonomous systems are being developed to assist with reconnaissance, logistics, and route clearance, allowing soldiers to focus on the missions that require human judgment. These technologies are intended to enhance decision-making. Not replace the people responsible for making the final call. At the same time, the Army continues to modernize its ground forces. Future combat vehicles are being designed with improved protection, greater mobility, and advanced digital systems. Lighter materials, improved sensors, and integrated communications will help crews operate more effectively in complex environments. Every new capability is shaped by one goal: increase survivability, increase awareness, increase combat effectiveness. Above the battlefield, Army aviation continues to evolve as well. Future helicopters are expected to fly farther, faster, and with greater operational flexibility than previous generations. Improved engines, modern avionics, and enhanced networking capabilities will allow aircrews to support ground forces across larger areas while responding more quickly to changing conditions. For commanders, speed is more than an advantage. It creates opportunities. Rapid movement allows forces to reinforce allies, respond to crises, and reposition before an adversary can react. That flexibility has become one of the defining strengths of the modern army. Yet no matter how advanced military technology becomes, none of it matters without readiness. Every day, soldiers participate in large-scale training exercises that closely replicate the demands of real operations. Armored formations maneuver across vast training areas. Infantry units rehearse urban operations. Engineers construct crossings under simulated combat conditions. Medical teams practice casualty evacuation. Logistics units sustain forces over long distances. Aviation crews coordinate with ground commanders. Artillery units conduct precision fire missions. Every exercise is designed to expose weaknesses before they can appear in a real-world operation. Training is not simply preparation. It is part of the Army's culture. Because under pressure, soldiers rarely rise to the level of their expectations. They perform according to the level of their training. This philosophy has shaped generations of Army leaders. Leadership remains one of the Army's greatest strategic advantages. From junior non-commissioned officers leading small teams to senior commanders directing complex operations, effective leadership creates discipline, confidence, and unity. It is built on trust. Trust between soldiers. Trust between leaders. Trust that every member of the team understands the mission and will accomplish it under the most demanding conditions. That trust cannot be purchased. It must be earned every single day. The Army also recognizes that strength is built through partnerships. Training alongside allied nations improves interoperability, strengthens relationships, and prepares forces to respond together during future crises. Combined exercises bring together armored units, aviation crews, engineers, artillery batteries, medical teams, and logistics specialists from different countries. They practice operating as one force, different uniforms, different languages, one mission. These partnerships increase readiness while reinforcing long-standing defense relationships around the world. Behind every deployment, however, stands another force that often goes unseen. Families, parents, spouses, children, months away from home. Birthdays missed. Holidays celebrated across oceans. Military service is rarely carried by the soldier alone. It is shared by everyone waiting for them to return. Their resilience forms an essential part of the Army's strength. As technology continues to reshape warfare, one truth remains unchanged. Victory has never belonged solely to the side with the most advanced equipment. It belongs to those who combine preparation, leadership, adaptability, and determination. Steel alone cannot hold the line. Machines cannot replace judgment. Algorithms cannot replace courage. The heart of the Army has never been its tanks, its helicopters, its missiles, or its technology. The true power of the United States Army has always been its people. Men and women who volunteer to serve, who train relentlessly, who operate in deserts, mountains, forests, cities, and frozen landscapes, who stand ready, often with little notice, to respond wherever they are called. Whether providing humanitarian assistance after natural disasters, supporting allies, deterring conflict, or conducting combat operations when directed, they represent the foundation of the force. The battlefield will continue to evolve. New technologies will emerge, new threats will appear, new challenges will test every generation that follows. The Army will continue to adapt, as it has for more than 2 centuries. Not by abandoning its traditions, but by building upon them. Every generation inherits the responsibility to prepare for the future while honoring the lessons of the past. That commitment has shaped one of the world's most capable land forces. A force defined not only by its equipment, but by its professionalism, discipline, and readiness. The rumble of armored tracks, the thunder of helicopter rotors, the launch of precision rockets, the quiet focus of a soldier preparing for the next mission. Together, they form something larger than any single weapon system. An organization built to respond, to endure, and to evolve. The Iron Giant has awakened, not as a symbol of fear, but as a symbol of preparedness, ready to meet uncertainty with discipline, ready to confront challenges with determination, ready to answer the call whenever and wherever that call may come. Because while the future of warfare will continue to change, the mission remains the same: to protect, to serve, to stand ready. This is the U.S. Army power,